Welcome to the 2020 global tournament, Human Panic! In one corner, we have the rapidly spreading disease that has infected over 8 million people worldwide. It's coronavirus! In the next corner, we have the temperature rising, storm worsening global crisis. It's climate change! Alright folks, it looks like coronavirus is actually But that makes no sense. Why are people panicking more of a coronavirus than global warming? Actually, it makes a lot of sense. Think back to the Stone Age when people had to run away from predators. One of my favorite books explains it best. Brainy matter and the fight or flight response. The fight or flight response all starts in the amygdala, the part of the brain that processes strong emotional reactions like fear, anxiety, and even happiness. When we see or hear something that makes us feel stressed, our amygdala signals to our hypothalamus that we're in danger. It controls involuntary functions like breathing and hormone release. The hypothalamus is part of our autonomic nervous system. Within the autonomic nervous system, there are two parts: the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The hypothalamus responds to the amygdala's cry for help by activating the sympathetic nervous system, which makes our glands pump epinephrine. This increases our heart rate, opens our airways, and sharpens our senses. While the danger is still present, the body sustains the fight or flight response through the HPA axis. The HPA axis is when the hypothalamus triggers the release of cortisol, which keeps the body ready to react to danger. Then, once the immediate danger has passed, the second part of our autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, helps us calm down. I'll give you an example. Do you remember waiting in the doctor's office with tears streaming down your face? At that moment, you weren't thinking about preventing chickenpox or tetanus. Instead, you were thinking about the scary syringe. When you saw the syringe, it triggered your fight or flight response. Now the situation could have gone one of two ways. Either you ran out of the doctor's office, meaning that you gave into your fight or flight response, or you looked up tetanus on WebMD and you told yourself this shot is going to be good for me in the long run, meaning you used your frontal lobes, the part of your brain that's involved with problem solving and impulse control. Either way, you probably felt your parasympathetic nervous system calm you down on the ride home. But what does that have to do with people panicking more over coronavirus than global warming? Think about what you've been hearing on the news. Lauren, come watch, they're talking about coronavirus again. Hearing about coronavirus every day in media coverage can cause stress and anxiety. Remember when people were buying large quantities of toilet paper? It's possible that people reacted this way because the news triggered an irrational fight or flight response. However, for a lot of people, watching the news caused them to partake in beneficial behavioral shifts such as wearing masks or staying indoors whenever possible, both of which decrease the spread of coronavirus. Now, according to a study done by Media Matters, in 2019, climate change made up only 0.7% of media coverage. So the reason people aren't as worried about climate change as coronavirus is because they're not hearing about it as much? There's a lot of reasons why people ignore climate change, but I think it's reasonable to say that at least part of it has to do with the fight or flight response. If we treated climate change in a similar way to coronavirus, at least in terms of media coverage, we might see some serious behavioral changes throughout society. When we put the world's problems out of sight, they also go out of mind.